Hello, Andrew here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my Premier League review of the weekend of 22nd of September. So, the first game was Fulham versus Watford. Watford will be kicking themselves. They scored after 90 seconds, and they could have had more. They dominated the game. Um, I mean, they really will wonder how they didn't win it. But you don't take your chances in football, and it's only 1-0. You always give the opposition a chance, and that's what Fulham did in the end. They took their chance. Mitrovic scored on the 78th minute, and it finished 1-1. There was an incident in this game. Should Fonso Mensah have been sent off? Well, if you look at the tackle, it's leg breaking. It should be a sending off. There's no two ways about it. But it wasn't. And as I say, yeah, as they both, it finishes 1-1. The next game is Burnley versus Bournemouth. Burnley, yeah, no, haven't played well at all. Yeah, no, they really struggled since with the Europe qualifiers and then getting back into the swing of the Premier League. Then all of a sudden yesterday, it was the Burnley we saw of last season. They absolutely smashed Bournemouth. Vidra got his first goal for the club. Lennon got his first goal for the club. And Ashley Barnes got two really late on. So that's a big win for Burnley. I think there's 3 teams now that haven't actually won a game yet, and I think that's Newcastle. Is it Huddersfield as well? Oh, it's Cardiff. I know that, and I will find it out. Oh yeah, no, it is Huddersfield. I was right. It's Newcastle, Cardiff, and Huddersfield. But because that win for Burnley takes them out of the bottom half, well, not bottom half of the table, out of the relegation zone. It's very, very close down there, the bottom at the moment. Anyway, on to the next game, and that is Cardiff versus Manchester City. Well, this was just a walk in the park for City. Could have been any scoreline. It finished 5-0, but that doesn't even tell the story. Cardiff just wasn't in it at all. And yeah, Man City just proved their dominance. I think Aguero got the first. Then, once the first, 30 minutes, Cardiff held Man City, fair play to them. But once the first went in, more just followed. As I say, Aguero got the first. Bernardo Silva got the second with a nice flicked header. Gundogan got on the score sheet just before half time. And Riyad Mahrez came on and picked himself up 2 goals as well. So, yeah, Man City are still going to be a force this season. Anyone who thinks they're not going to be, even though they lost to Lyon, they're mistaken. So that, yeah, leaves Cardiff still in relegation zone. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Well, this was as boring game as they come, to be honest. Yeah, no, it looked like it had 0-0 written all over it from the start, especially with Zaha picking up a knock from the beginning. He still played, but it was one of them games that you wouldn't want to be watching. Which, as I say, Newcastle still leaves Newcastle without a win, and Crystal Palace, they're in 11th, just outside the top 10. So they're not doing too bad, a lot better than what they did last season. By this point last season, they hadn't even won a game or even scored a goal. So, yeah, Palace would be pleased with their start, but Newcastle just don't. Rafa doesn't have the funds. So, looking at the way the table is now, possibility that they're the 3 that could go down, even though it's really early on. But you look at early form, unless something changes, Cardiff are going straight back down, Huddersfield followed by Newcastle. Anyway, on to the next game, Leicester versus Huddersfield. Huddersfield actually took the lead in this one through Jorgensen in 5 minutes. But I don't know what Huddersfield were doing, and Wagner must be going out of his mind on how many were forward for their equaliser. I mean, literally, Vardy got the ball, pretty much on the halfway line, passed it to Iheanacho, and Iheanacho's just got a clean run at goal. And then Maddison with a lovely free kick, and Vardy late on a little chip over the goalkeeper. I mean, wow. Like I say, David Wagner must be going out of his mind from what he saw defensively from his team yesterday. Saturday. So yeah, it leaves Huddersfield in danger at the moment. And Leicester, you know, like I say, they'll be happy because they've played all right this season against Liverpool, against Manchester United, where they could have gained some points, but they've come up short. So they will be pleased to get the win. They're in the top 10 currently. But yeah, they could have had a few more points. I'm glad they didn't take any off us, but you know. Speaking of us, Liverpool versus Southampton. This was as easy as they come. This was a training game. I mean, the first goal came from Shaqiri gets a nice little, from a corner, and then Shaqiri receives the ball, tries to come inside, takes a shot, it hits long, and then bounces off Hoydit for an own goal, and then from a corner of all people, Matip scores a cracking header. And then just before half time, we get a free kick. Shaqiri hits it. I mean, he's hit this free kick so well. It's a shame it's not his goal. But it hits the bar, bounces down, and Salah literally just runs in and puts the ball in the back of the net. But second half, we literally just controlled the game, make sure we didn't concede, conserved energy. And Liverpool right now are the only team with a 100% record. But we face Chelsea in the cup, and then we face Chelsea next week in the league. So hopefully we can keep it going, because after Chelsea it's Napoli and then Man City. So, but we've had a very good start. 7 games. I mean, one of them have been a Champions League game, but we have never won our first 7 games of any season in all competitions in the entire history. So I'm very happy right now, and hopefully we can keep it going. Keeps us top of the league by 2 points. Manchester United versus Wolves. How Wolves did not win this game, you just have to look at De Gea. I mean, Wolves started off so well, could have scored a couple of goals, as I say, De Gea, and then Man United. I mean, it's a lovely pass from Pogba, don't get me wrong, first time pass, Fred's there, slots it into the bottom corner, and then Wolves equalised in the second half, but if it weren't for De Gea, Wolves would have won this game. And yeah, I mean, yeah, Man United did have a very good free kick, I should mention, in the first half that Rui Patricio saved onto the bar. But other than that, it really was all Wolves. I mean, they've had a good start to the season, Wolves. I mean, they got a draw against Manchester City. They got a draw against Manchester United. You've got to give them a lot of credit right now. I mean, they're in the top 10 as well, and they don't fear any teams. They come and they play their football. I mean, they've only lost 1, and they've won 2, drawn 3. That's not too bad at all for a team that's not long just being promoted. I mean, that Ruben Neves is quality, and they've got one of the fastest players in the league right now. And yeah, it's just crazy how fast he actually is. That Traore, that Adama Traore, he should have won it for him, as I say. But yeah, he's been labelled as one of the fastest players. I mean, no one wants to come up against that. I mean, I thought like Mane's fast and Salah's fast. This guy takes it to another level. But yeah, as I say, they'll be very happy with their result. And it was away from home. Brighton and Spurs. Spurs going into this game, they've lost the last 3 games in all competitions. They needed the win here today, and I mean, they get a penalty. It's definitely a penalty when somebody sticks their hand across like that. The ref has no choice. Very good decision. Harry Kane steps up, puts it where he normally goes. I thought the keeper, you know, seeing where Harry Kane's took all of his penalties, would have gone the right way, but nope, sent the wrong way. And Eric Lamela gets another one for Spurs, and you think 2-0 should be all over. Well, 90 plus minute, Knockaert scores, and then they could have scored again straight after. Spurs nearly threw it away. I mean, if you saw the relief on Pochettino's face, it was just like, wow, you know, how do we nearly throw that away? But they didn't. They got the victory, and you know, they'll be happy that their little mini spell of defeats is over. I'm not too sure who they've got next, but anyway, on to Sunday's games. West Ham and Chelsea. This shouldn't have finished 0-0, in all honesty. Yes, it finished 0-0, but it shouldn't have. West Ham, Yarmolenko had a cracking chance, a header that was just flashed wide. And when Morata come on, he almost changed the game and won it for Chelsea. I mean, Fabianski knows nothing about it, but a shot, something like 6 or 8 yards out, just smacks him straight in the face. I mean, he'll be glad to have made the save, but yeah, Fabianski was brilliant yesterday, and yeah, being a Liverpool fan, I was pleased that it was 0-0. But Chelsea, you know, they're still in the hunt. They've got us next week. Man City are still in the hunt. I think at the moment you're looking at a 3-horse race, even though it's so early. I think it's going to be between Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City, who will be champions this year. I mean, I really hope it's Liverpool. Of course I do. I mean, you got Watford and Tottenham. Well, Watford's 4th, Tottenham are 5th. Manchester United are where? They're in 7th. I mean, and Arsenal, they won, so they're now on 12 points. So it's still quite close, but the gap between the top 3 at the moment it's only 3 points. But 3 points could come 6, and 6 points could become 9. So, but as I say, 2 of the teams meet next week, which is Liverpool and Chelsea, which gives the others a chance to catch up. I mean, Arsenal and Everton's the last game of the weekend, and I mean, first half, defensively, you can see where Arsenal are struggling, but with Cech making a couple of good saves, you know, it was 0-0 at half time. I mean, there was a save from Pickford from Monreal, but in the end, Arsenal showed their superiority, and Lacazette scored and Aubameyang scored, you know. So they're very good going forward, Arsenal, but they just look lacking in defence. Well, that's my review of the Premier League for this weekend. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and one final note, we're top of the league. Speak to you all soon. Bye bye.